am Joanne Galloway. I'm a founding member, current board member, and the executive director for the Center for Change, Northern Michigan Advocacy. We are a newer organization, and this is a newer event, so I thought it might not hurt to just review the purpose of celebrating civic engagement. What do we mean by that? I do also want to say that you don't have to learn everything about the Center for Change and who we are and what the heck it is we're doing tonight, because we do have a website, we do use social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we do have staff on the ground in many of the communities, and you'll find us tabling at many of the events in the communities across northern Michigan this summer. So we don't have to learn it all today. What we can do tonight is have a little bit of fun. Take a break, enjoy your visiting, and just have some fun with it, okay? So welcome to the big party.
Yeah!
Somebody on our team said, oh, we need to have an annual meeting. I said, oh, Bernard and I have that all planned out. We just hadn't gotten to it yet. So, where are you, Paul? I hope we're checking off the box for annual meeting with us tonight. So yes, let's celebrate civic engagement. You know, I did run for office in 2018, and I've moved on now from that political campaign. Along with my team, we wanted to find ways that we could continue the work on the issues that were important to us. The Center for Change is a registered Michigan corporation with a 501c4 nonprofit status. Its members and leaders, residents from northern Michigan, other than myself because I live in Lansing now, are proud and excited to be a part of this important work. The goal is to help our neighbors in a significant and meaningful way. C4C operates to promote social welfare through advocacy on matters of public policy and legislation. And if you wonder if we're doing that, I'm pretty sure Representative Damoose can provide testimony to that effect.
You were at his office a lot.
No. The Center for Change does not, this is a fun one, does not endorse candidates nor political parties. While each one of our team members retains their own individual political beliefs and associations, our work here at the Center for Change is nonpartisan. I'm so proud of the organization that we've created after forming in 2019, the financial investment that we've brought to the region, the relationships that we're building, and the work that we are getting done. Over the past 2 years, we've had the opportunity to support our neighbors in Sheboygan County, Alpena, Antrim County, Pickford, Bruce Township, Alanson, and really all across Michigan as we've worked on other projects that relate to broadband, emergency heating assistance, unemployment issues, and many other issues across the board. So with that, I would like to introduce you to who I consider to be the ambassador of the Sault Ste. Marie area. And let's give her a big round of applause for all the great work she does, Linda Hoth.
Well, if you don't mind, I'm not going to stand behind a podium because that's not how I do things. I want to welcome you to Sault Ste. Marie. I said, you know, we are the oldest city in the Midwest, 1668. You got to realize that, and we love that we are. We just had a little talk. Where is he sitting? I can't see him yet. Oh, there he is back in the corner. He was talking to me. He was trying to tell me St. Ignace was. No. It's us. That's our line here. So, yeah, we are the oldest city in the Midwest. I want to thank you all for being here. I know a lot of you here tonight. It's Lola. I love her. Oh. You know, it's just when you get to see people, we haven't been able to see anybody. You know, we've been staying at home and working from home and doing all those things. It's nice to see people again. And for me, I'm a people person. I've got to see people. I says, I don't want to. I'm 69 years old and I'm not retiring. Because if I had to stay home, it would drive me insane.
All right.
It would drive me insane to stay home. And that's what I want to say, you know, to come out here and see you tonight and see all the things that you guys are doing and all the difference. And everybody working together for the same purpose. We are all, sitting here talking to different people, we all have something in common. So thank you for being here tonight, and I'll give this back to Joanne.
All right.
I've told Linda just as recently as last night when I had the opportunity to hug her that I love having her bright, smiling face in the room, and I'm so glad that she could be with us. She did have some grandkids surprise her this afternoon and come up from downstate, but she just told me recently she's even going to stay to get something to eat, so I'm happy to have her in the room. Thank you. I did just want to mention that the Center for Change's mission is to inspire, educate, and empower our neighbors. So, inspire, educate, and empower. I actually like to turn that around and start with educate. And this isn't just our neighbors, this is everybody on our team too, right? Learning, who has the power and what is the process, and, you know, if you don't like the roads, when's the time to talk about it? It's really not after the budget is announced and the road budget's announced. It's, before that, and I think Representative Damoose will probably talk through that, so I don't need to mention any more of that. But anyway, so educate, inspire, and empower, because, I know I spent a lot of my lifetime, you know, where things just seemed like, oh, it's odd we do that way. But I didn't know and understand and have the information about, how else it could be done or how to affect how it was being done, nor did I feel inspired or let alone empowered to do something about it. But after 50 or so years of lifetime experience, I began to feel a little bit more empowered, and I'm doing something about it. So anyway, at this time, I would like to take the opportunity, before we eat, we're going to eat soon. Let me look, less than 5 minutes, okay? And just so you know who's in the room and who our staff and who our board members are, I thought it'd be smart to introduce those up front. And then after I introduce everyone, one of our members is going to speak just briefly, Kelvin Carter, who's working here in this area. And then Bernard has a plan to have us all go neatly through the food line. So, I'm a farmer. I've seen how pigs and cattle and stuff come to the feed bunk. But
I do take bribes. I take bribes.
So, I do ask, as I call off the names, or even just before I call off the names, if our staff and board members could just come up front here where everybody in the room can see you, so that it's clear to them if they want to come and talk to you, who that person is, kind of thing. So feel free to just start coming on up at one and then wave when I call your name. So we're going to start with the board of directors.
Go on, John.
We're going to start with our brand new chair, who was just elected on Tuesday, John Petkus of Rudyard. And then we have Jenny Hoffman with us, who is one of our founding members and our treasurer from Moran Township. And then coming up on the far side, we have Paul Warwick, who is our secretary from Kinchlow. And then in the list is myself as a board member from Lansing. And then we have one of our newest board members who was just elected to the board on Tuesday, Kelvin Carter from Sault Ste. Marie. And we have another new board member, Nicholas Mitchell from Pickford. And then the Sheboygan Arts Council director was unable to join us this evening because every weekend they've got shows, And Owen Goslin is one of our founding board members and is a current board member, and he's our former communications director, and we were thrilled to support him moving into that position at the Sheboygan Arts Council, and he continues to maintain 2 or 3 projects with us and stay on the board. And then we also have with us Marlene Murphy, who is Marlene is also a founding member of the Center for Change and a current board member. And well, if you talk to her, I'll let her tell you directly what her key role is with us. Okay? Great.
I'm the sweeper.
The sweeper.
She's the sweeper. Sometimes it was a little hard sometimes figuring out what was Marlene's job. And then she realized that she was really good at when like something got overlooked, she'd come in and sweep it up and get it all tidy. So she was the one I called today when I needed 2 more signs made for something here. And it was, yeah, I just got that done. I'm like, way to sweep it up, Marlene. Thank you. Okay, so you're welcome to stay up here. I'm going to run through the staff now. Joanne Galloway, Executive Director. Bernard Page, Communications Director from Aurora, Illinois.
Yay.
I will say I've known Bernard for a very long time.
I'm sorry.
He is married to my high school classmate, well, my grade school classmate too, Diane Page of Pickford. Bernard and I both have degrees in marketing, and we've always found something of interest to talk about all these years. So.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we at here? Staff.
Jenny Hoffman.
Page. Jenny Hoffman, Connectivity Liaison. Give him a wave. Calvin Carter, Community Liaison. Joe Murphy. Joe is our education liaison, and he is based in Petoskey. And then also on staff, we have an intern who's been with us since last August, a paid intern, because that's what we believe in, Nicholas Mitchell.
Hey guys. Oh, sorry, Joanne. So yeah, I am the community liaison for Chippewa County, Eastern Upper Peninsula, and I'd like to say welcome to Sault Ste. Marie. This has been my community since 2002 when I moved up here from Onaway, Michigan. I grew up very rural, and I was not raised to be in fancy rooms like this, dressed up, speaking to state reps and lawyers and county commissioners and all these important people. And when I was hired on by Joanne Galloway, I told her, I said, I'm a little rough. I got this beard, I got this accent. I wasn't primed for this. She said, nope, you're just what we want. Your job is to get people just like you into those rooms, talking to those people, and engaged. And I'm having a lot of fun doing it, you know. It's important work. And I look forward to meeting all you as the night goes on, and tonight into the future, working with you all, and continuing Center for Change's mission. So, welcome to the Sioux. Thank you for coming out tonight.
All right.
I'm just checking the list. It looks like I've covered everything that we had intended to cover before we eat.
Let's eat. I'm hungry. You hungry?
Am I hungry? No,
Are you
I'm
hungry?
busy enjoying being with people.
Oh, okay. Well, you do a great job.
Thank you, Bernard.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Can I release people to go eat now?
Yes, would you like the microphone?
Say thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, Bernard.
There you go.
You guys would invite me here. And I know there's probably some people in the audience, and I understand why you said, why are you having him come to our big event? And the fact that you did means so much to me. And I think it speaks to why this organization is so good and so strong. And I've seen that, I've heard the other side too. When Joanne Galloway first came to me as a new representative, and wanted to meet. I said, this sounds great. And she, this woman's really involved. They've got an organization working on rural broadband. This is one of her big things. And somebody said, yeah. And so we met, and I just really liked her. And then we had a Zoom conversation, and I really liked everybody I talked to. You guys are doing great work. And the problem is, this happens all the time down in Lansing. I'll peel back the curtain, is that people retreat into their own camps without giving anybody a chance. And the fact is, I think we've had some really good interactions down there. Joanne comes to my committee meeting all the time, pulls me aside and says, John, we need this funding for this high-speed internet office. Well, I agree with you. It's good stuff. And so the bottom line is, what I found right now has been so encouraging being in the legislature, because we have this idea, if you watch the news, no matter what side you watch, if you watch MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, whatever, there's this impression that everybody's at each other's throats. And there are some, but there's a whole lot of people who are just there trying to do a good job. I learned that lesson from, we started a film production company, and it was written up there. The whole premise of this company was that even in this deeply divided age, there's got to be certain things of which all Americans can be proud. And so the military is one of those. And we did a national television special on Arlington Cemetery. And if you've ever been there, it's an amazing place in Washington, D.C. And you walk in, and there's a sign that you pass that says, you're entering our nation's most sacred shrine. And the most hallowed portion of that is the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. We built a whole television special about, what does that say about America? That the most hallowed portion of our most sacred shrine is dedicated to people whose names we don't even know. I mean, that's a unique, I don't care where you are on the political spectrum, that's pretty cool. And we did one telling the story of Medal of Honor recipients. These are people who don't believe they did anything special in this world, yet they did things like dive on a grenade to save the people's lives around them. They don't believe there's, I asked one of them, in fact, that man who did that, I asked, what does it mean to be a hero? And he sat down, hero. I really don't even know what that word means. And he said, the heroes aren't guys like us, it's the wives and the parents and the husbands whose spouse came home and they're no longer the same because they've been through this war. Those are the heroes. And I just thought, I don't know, but isn't that amazing that somebody's that humble? So we've got to, this is something that everybody can agree on. I'll tell you what, you have to be intentional about it. I've seen this time and time again, and I'll just tell you, I'm only allowed 10 minutes, so I'll be very short. But I'll tell you some of the hopeful things that we can do together here. I'm going to tell you about my friend. There's Julie Brixey, and she is a very, very progressive Democrat. And if you looked at me on paper, I'm probably a pretty conservative Republican. I sort of like what Mike Pence said, that he said, I'm a conservative, I'm just not in a bad mood about it. And anybody watching the news sees there's a lot of people in my party who are in a pretty bad mood about it, and I just think that's terrible. But the bottom line is that Julie is one that the people in the party said, you can't work with her, she's terrible, what are you doing? So I went over and I decided to strike up a friendship with her. I just started talking to her. And I really like Julie. And she's smart, and she has some good ideas. And I get made fun of all the time because I go hang out with Julie Brixey. Somebody said this the other day, oh yeah, that's right, you got that Brixey Damoose thing going. And I'm like, I kind of took that as a badge of honor. But Julie Brixey and I were with a group out at dinner early on. And people don't think this happens. And I can tell you there's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle who don't want this to happen. I can tell you, at least in the Republican side, I've been attacked for this. I had a guy send me a text who voted for me. I looked at it first thing in the morning, woke up one day, looked down and said, John, I heard you're trying to get along with the other side. If that's true, you're just a sucker, and I'm sorry I voted for you. And I say to myself, what does this man want me to do? Go down and just be at war with these fine people? I believe we're supposed to treat others as we'd like to be treated. So Julie Brixey comes to me, and we had this nice dinner, and she said, John, there's something out there that always bothers me. And she tried to work on another term before, and she said, I don't understand why feminine hygiene products are subject to the sales tax. And she went through very logically, she wasn't yelling at me or taking me out, she went through very logically all the things that are not subject to the sales tax. She said, I don't get why we tax these products. And I said to her, Julie, I guess I don't get why we tax them either. And I went to a Republican colleague and I said, look, I was just talking to Julie Brixey last night. laid it out for him, and he said, "Oh, we'll never do anything on that. That's just a big liberal cause, and nobody wants to work with bricks. You just leave it alone." And I said, "No, but why is this a big liberal cause? I mean, who's really excited about taxing and stuff?" And so I went back to Julie, and I said, "I'm going to spend all summer. We're going to bring this up." And I sit next to the head of the tax policy committee. He's my seatmate. He's probably going to be the next speaker. So we fought all summer long. And the bottom line is that what ended up happening was they finally went along with it. They stole one of the bills from a Democrat and gave it to a Republican. You can do that. Julie was all upset. I said, "Julie, you don't care whose name's on this. You just want it done." She said, "No, you're right." And my favorite moment in all my time in the legislature so far has been the day that we brought this up. If you're involved in a bill, you're allowed to give a floor speech. You don't have to have done stuff. And everybody knew that this just became my cause, and for whatever reason. And so I volunteered to give a floor speech for one reason. Because I wanted Julie Brixey standing next to me on the floor. Because this woman poured her heart into this for years and was about to get no credit for it. I mean, I can tell you how proud I was of that. And to all the people who criticized me for wanting to work with this liberal Democrat, I tell them, that's the only tax cut we passed in 2021. It was signed into law by the Democrat. So how bad is it that I'm working with this far left liberal? You know what it became? So such respect we have now for each other that there's a really big one she came to me about. She has these great ideas. And this is to extend the statute of limitations out even further on criminal sexual conduct cases. And she went through the whole rationale that, when a Larry Nassar happens or an Anderson at Michigan happens, that we address those individual cases. And there's bills designed just for if a doctor at a university has committed this crime, you can reopen the cases. But it's just those cases. She said it's just not right. And went through the whole logic of what happens. For example, will be abused, and she's too embarrassed, and she's afraid to tell her parents, so she puts it away. She goes to college and tries to live it down, and she puts it away. And then she gets married and realizes, "Oh my goodness, I never told my husband about this, it's too late now," puts it away. Then she has kids, potentially. This is Julie telling me this. And she doesn't want to disturb her family. And then all of a sudden, she's in her 40s. And she realizes her kids are the same age that she was when all this happened. And she says, "I got to do something about this, and it's too late by our laws." So Julie, this is how you interact. I wrestled with this because it's a potential political mess, you know what I mean? But it's the right thing to do. But instead of just getting mad at me when I hemmed and hawed and changed my mind and we were about to do it, and I called her on the weekend before and I said, "Julie, I can't do this. I can't do this." I was too worried about the impacts, and then I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "Wait, what kind of man am I if I can't stand up for this thing?" He was sorry about that. And he went and he took it down. He apologized to me. I mean, this is great. We can be on different sides of the aisle on things, but if we deal with each other with a little bit of love and respect and be willing to admit when we make a mistake, I think we can really accomplish great things. So that's all this to say is I'm so humbled to be here. I know there's things that I probably believe that would be just appalling to you, but there's probably more things that we can actually work on, because in Lansing, in our church too on the federal level, we pay attention to all sort of good governance type of things. And so I'm so excited to see the level of engagement you're bringing in, and I'm thankful that you'd be willing to work with me, and I hope we can work together long into the future. So thank you.
A longtime civil servant, and Marlene Murphy, one of Center for Change's founding members and board members and sweeper. Who's going to get that rolling?
Okay, I get to do the next one. Okay, and I want to talk a little bit about Sharon Kennedy. I met Sharon when we were in a Lamaze class together with our oldest kids. And that was, 17, 18 years ago, Lola? Yes. Yeah, something like that. And we we continued all through our children's lives to keep in contact with each other, because you just do that when you have kids the same age and you live in the same community, and especially when you're involved in the community like Sharon was, and I am to a certain extent, though she was my hero in that regard. And when my daughter started a floral business, which she committed to being self-sustaining and uses little plastic and reuse as much as she can to not waste, and she said that she would reuse vases. So I think Sharon looked under every cupboard in the county courthouse, and she brought Maddie like a couple of boxes of used vases. You may even have one on your table tonight. But it was through that and through another group that Sharon helped start called Progressive Women. It was that women just got together once a week and talked about current topics and in support. And we really did talk about politics and not just complain about our husbands or whatever. But, whenever we met like this, Sharon always brought dark chocolate. And it's in her honor that you have dark chocolates on your table. And I would like to introduce her proudest achievement, her daughters Lola and Caroline, and they're going to come up and talk about their mom a little bit.
Group, yeah.
That is bright. Are there two microphones possible?
Oh, second
We're
one.
going to converse.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Thank you so much, Joanne. Marlene, thank you. Where did you go? Hey, girl. Thank you so much for calling us. I remember the text I got like a few weeks ago. Thank you so much.
Two different spaces.
Yeah.
One there, one there.
Yes. Hi, I'm Lola Kennedy. I am Sharon's oldest daughter, and I've lived in the community for a long time. I left for a little bit to go to a musical theater program in New York, and then I came back. And I've been pretty active within the community. I am very active within the Sioux Theater Project. I sing with them. I help them with anything they possibly need. And also, I am a yoga instructor, belly dance instructor, and Reiki practitioner, so I'm also on that side too. So, and this is my sister, Caroline.
Hi, I'm Caroline Kennedy. I was raised in Sault Ste. Marie. I moved away about 11 years ago to Detroit, and I attended College for Creative Studies. And after graduating with honors, I stayed in Detroit, and I'm a photographer. I also do painting, poetry, and styling and merchandising.
So our mom, where she came from, she is from a really small farming town in southern Missouri, and then they moved up to lower Michigan. And I think where she probably got our mom was like known for her thoughtfulness and her very unique way of life. She was vivacious. She was always moving. She did like 20,000 steps a day, so you'd always see her walking around town and just doing her own thing. She did everything. But I think where she really got her thoughtfulness, this kind-hearted of community and our neighborhood, and no matter what your beliefs are, you helped each other. Yeah. She probably got that from our grandparents, our grandpa,
Grandma Lola and our grandpa
Shannon. And when he had started at the railway, yeah, his job was this was like his first real job. He was a farmer. They didn't have much, and he was the one that had to make sure no one was staying in the cars at night. So what he would do, instead of kick them out, he would make sure that they had a hot meal, a place to stay, and money. So, and then our grandma, they were always bringing people in, family, friends, anything like that, neighbors, to make sure that they were taken care of. And I think most likely that's where our mom got that, and just did that for everyone in this community. She's instilled that within us. She's instilled that with everyone I know, and people from all over will say, oh, I didn't, like, that was Sharon and the impact that she had on our lives, the impact that she's had within this community. And so,
yeah. She just was always saying you have to kill them with kindness. Every time anyone came in, she was the elected official for Register of Deeds and Director of Equalization. And anytime someone came in, she said, you have to consider what they're going through in their day-to-day and, like, never give a bad attitude. You want them to leave the building feeling better than when they came in. And she always just thought about others before herself. She put her work just above all else. She was so considerate for everyone in the community, always impacting them on a positive note and always trying to do the extra work so that other people didn't have to bear that weight.
yeah, she was a very giving person. She also had just a myriad of things that she would put her hand in. She was a magician's assistant one time. She was a disc jockey. She cleaned toilets.
Brown belt and judo.
Yeah, she taught
Wow.
them. So she did literally everything. And then she worked at the border, and that's how she met some lawyers in town, Mr. Finland, I think that was his name, and the Asquiths. And that's how she became a part of our county courthouse. And through that, she started to make a difference being an elected official. And she just started to, well, she's always been someone who's always had her hand in everything. And she did it with such a unique vibrancy, this light about her that people, you would
Gravitate.
yeah, you'd gravitate towards her. And
She'd always make a friend anywhere she went. Especially every time she came to visit me, she would meet someone on the street and start a conversation with them. It was just really charming.
she is a charming human.
Yes.
And she got me into belly dance, she got me into yoga, she got me into everything. Because she wanted to do it. I think, like, just a year ago, she's like, I think I want to learn how to fly a plane. But I don't know if they'll let me, I'm getting old. So, but even, and, like, our mom she was known around this area for helping as many people as she could with that kindness, like Caroline had said. And she would be so ecstatic about this program, about this nonprofit that Joanne and Bernard and everyone within Center for Change is creating, because that's what she really stood for. She wanted people to feel empowered. She wanted them to get educated about everything, and she wanted people. Angie and I were just talking about that, one of our good friends, last week. She said, your mom always wanted people to get involved, no matter how it was.
How
Get
big
up.
or small.
Yeah.
Always starting on the local level is where it makes the biggest change in our nation. And it was really important to her to always, think about things before you go to vote or to act.
Many, many people would always text me and say, who's your mom voted for? And why? What's going on? I need the rundown. And our mom helped create and write millages. So our animal shelter was a no-kill animal shelter. So our library could continue to be funded. She helped create the Progressive Women. She was very much involved with the League of Women Voters. She literally did everything. And she also had a part-time job. She liked to work downtown. So she could get to know everybody.
Yes.
So I don't know where, she just had, like, the most energy. She was 73 years old. She was a lively lady.
Yes.
So I know how, like, we're honored that we get to be her daughters. And we're honored that she's been able to
Impact the community so much and really leave an imprint that's going to be lasting for a very long time.
and hopefully our community members, our city officials in that will also rise to that as well, what inspiration she's left. And knowing that she always wanted people to, like, at least from what my experience with my mom, is that she left you feeling like, oh, I can do that. Not like helpless or powerless. She made it so you would understand, because I definitely do not understand what equalization is, and she started to explain it to me tons of times. It's a lot of math and a lot of taxes. But she
always did things and tried to teach you in a playful manner, so it was easy to access. Like all of these names that she would make up, like Linda Dalla, or
Linda Dalla.
Want Below, buried over.
Yeah.
She just always used playfulness to teach.
And it was like so much fun because then it made you want to learn with her, because she was also, she taught assessing for the state of Michigan. They helped create a program, and then after the state standardized it, she continued to teach it. She put this playfulness into literally everything she did, because I taught her. I would teach her classes. She would come to every one of my classes, and her and her best friend would always, the teachers.
In the back giggling, conversing, and also just being so proud of their daughter.
Yeah, like I know so many people have said just like Marlene had said, her pride was her daughter. So I know that we felt the love that we're very lucky, and we're lucky that she impacted us with that pride and how to maneuver through anything, no matter what it was, and to talk to people no matter what their beliefs were, what their party was, because it doesn't matter. You're just human, and the big picture is to make it easier for everyone else. And so we really, really appreciate the Center for Change.
So
Joanne, where do you go? Hey, girl.
Our mom.
Yes, and we really appreciate getting the opportunity to get to talk about our mom and honor her. We've had so many amazing experiences with our mom, as just throughout this whole town, getting to plant plants, getting to
Pick up trash and unify us.
Yes, that was one of our things we got to do as children, is pick up trash all the time. Every city cleanup and the
or
beautification.
Not a city cleanup.
Yes, yeah, there was one year.
Yeah.
Ginny and I and my mom on Mother's Day, we just went for a walk around town, and then we ended up doing like 3 or 4 miles for hours just picking up trash, because we saw like plastic bags on the side of the road, and that was just what she did. Yeah. Just little tiny things here and there that just made
a big difference.
Mm-hmm. In the long run. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for me.
Thank you so much. We have a special delivery for you from Lansing.
Your mom sounds amazing, and you two both are amazing too. I wanted to give you this on behalf of the state of Michigan, recognition of a life well lived. I won't read the whole thing, but let it be known that it is with deep appreciation for the hard work, dedication, and professionalism that Sharon H. Kennedy has put forth on behalf of the people of Chippewa County that we honor and commemorate her memory as an exemplary civil servant. As the people of Chippewa County mourn the loss of the loyalty and devotion to public service of this conscientious individual, we add our condolences and our voices to those voicing their appreciation for Sharon H. Kennedy. In her almost 40 years of service to the people of Chippewa County, Sharon Kennedy has worked in a variety of roles. Starting in Chippewa, this document is signed and dedicated to join with the citizens of Chippewa County in honoring the memory of your mom, Sharon H. Kennedy. May her memory serve as an example of what constitutes caring, kind civil service. This is signed by Governor Whitmer, Lieutenant Governor Gilchrist, Senator Wayne Schmidt, and by myself. So, thank you.
Now, hey, Lola, remember that song your mom likes? Right? Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember the title of it, but I bet you can play it. I bet you can play it. Watch this. Okay, I see what you did there. Ladies and gentlemen, a dance floor. Oh.
Dear Mom?
You did that for my mom? Oh, hold on. Hold on. We're gonna do this. My mom's was, because I was conceived in and I've told this story before, 4 years ago, in the back of a red Chevy convertible in the back of my grandfather's farm, and the song was, chances are narrow selling out. That's as far as I go. That's the best impression I got. But Mr. DJ. Oh, no. I'm trying to get these people moving. Turn that off. Turn that off. You ready? I'm ready. There you go. This is Sharon's. Ladies and gentlemen, the dance floor is open. I gotta say I will be. Hey, if you want to go to that dance floor,